The story of a young prince with great ambition. A king who took power by force. A ruler who built his legacy in the form of a spectacular temple. Towering 100 feet above the Taj Mahal and containing more stone than the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is the largest sacred structure anywhere on the face of the earth. Cambodia's extraordinary Angkor Wat. Early Western visitors were so awestruck by the ancient temple, they believed it was built by Alexander the Great or the ancient Romans. Of course, they were wrong. The builders of Angkor Wat were the ancient Khmer, the great and mysterious civilization that dominated much of Southeast Asia for 6 centuries and left behind one of the greatest architectural wonders ever created by human hands. On a lush plain, deep in the tropical forest of northwestern Cambodia, lie the ruins of the ancient city of Angkor. Once the sprawling capital of the vast Khmer Empire, Angkor was the largest city in the world. Today, Angkor is still a sweeping landscape. 400 square miles where more than 1,200 ancient temples still survive. Architectural masterpieces, fantastically carved from tens of millions of tons of local sandstone. The famous temples were built over a span of 5 centuries. They endure today as one of the world's greatest treasure troves of art, archaeology, and history. But the city of Angkor was eventually abandoned as a Khmer capital, and its temples were swallowed by the jungle, forgotten by the outside world. Not until the 19th century was the most famous of all the Angkor structures brought to the attention of the West. In January of 1860, the French naturalist Henri Mouot wrote, "One of these temples, a rival to that of Solomon and erected by some ancient Michelangelo, might take an honorable place beside our most beautiful buildings. It is grander than anything left to us by Greece or Rome." He was describing the splendor of Angkor Wat. When Smithsonian Magazine listed 28 places to see before you die, it called Angkor Wat a temple so magnificent it could only have been built by divine inspiration. And so it was. Inspired by gods, built by a man you've probably never heard of, but whose story is one of the world's great legends. Hi, my name is Yul Kwan, and it's my honor to take you on a journey back in time to discover the secrets of Angkor and relive the adventures of its creator, a ruler called Suryavarman II. 900 years ago, he led the Khmer Empire in what is today Cambodia, and this temple is his legacy. More than 1 million people visit here every year, overcome by its size and grandeur. But if you think this place is beautiful now, just wait till you see it in its glory days. This is a story of Angkor Wat. In the 12th century AD, a young man with royal blood was coming of age in the Khmer countryside. At that time, the Khmer Empire controlled large portions of modern Southeast Asia, including the prince's home of Lopburi, northwest of Angkor. The royal prince was said to be a skilled warrior, brave and wise beyond his years. He came to the attention of a prominent Hindu priest Divakara Pandita, a religious leader with great influence in matters of state. Ambitious, royal, and well-connected, Suryavarman II began to dream of becoming king and ruling the vast Khmer Empire. Under the rule of Dharanendravarman, the turn of the 12th century was a time of chaos and fragmentation in the kingdom. His reign was marked by power struggles and turmoil. The aging Dharanendravarman was an ineffectual ruler who never succeeded in bringing order to his sprawling territories. Opposing factions arose throughout the empire. The young prince's clan gained influence in the north, while the older royal clans were pushed south. Divakara Pandita and other powerful priests backed the young prince, hoping he could unify the empire and bring harmony to the fractured kingdom. Civil war erupted as the forces vied for control. An inscription describes the moment the young prince took power, comparing him to a mythical bird. Suryavarman bounded to the head of the elephant of the enemy king and killed him as an eagle might kill a snake. Suryavarman II was only 17 years old when he seized control of the Khmer Empire in 1113 AD. This is him right here. Easy to miss among the mile of gods and spirits carved into Angkor's walls. It wasn't unusual at the time for a rebel to become king, but for Suryavarman II, killing the former king was only the first stage. He still had to conquer the rest of an empire that was in utter disarray. The crown would only be his if he could end the turmoil and unify the land. It took 6 long years for Suryavarman II to solidify his control over the vast empire and conquer the southern factions. But now, at last, the entire Khmer Empire was united under a single ruler, and peace was finally restored. Suryavarman's soldiers and subjects took an oath of loyalty that strengthened his realm. We will serve no other king. We will sacrifice our lives for our king in the face of war. We will be reborn in the 32 hells if we break our oath. In 1119, at the royal palace of Angkor, Suryavarman II officially became the 18th king of the Khmer Empire. He was given the royal title Suryavarman, Protector of the Sun, and was coronated alongside his queen. This moment ushered in the golden age of the Khmer Empire. Suryavarman II was only 23 years old when he was crowned ruler of one of the greatest empires of Asia. Just as Khmer kings had done for centuries, Suryavarman II ruled from Angkor, the seat of the Khmer Empire. But its soul resided in another place. Traditionally, newly crowned Khmer rulers would make a pilgrimage to the sacred Phnom Kulen, a mountain range 25 miles northeast of Angkor. 3 centuries before Suryavarman II, the empire's first monarch, Jayavarman II, came to the same mountain on a similar spiritual journey.